For over 30 years, Robert Mendelsohn has been at the forefront of photography in the city of Philadelphia. However, few know his story. In his own words, and from those who know him best, hear the journey of the man who has captivated Philadelphia with his photographs as he steps from behind the lens to the front of the camera.
I was born in Philadelphia to the loving parents of Philip and Adele. I lived in the area of lower northeast, which was called Feltonville and Olney. Attended Olney High, class of 75, never went to college. I graduated high school on a Friday. My father made sure I had a job by a Monday. It started out as a warehouse job. I stayed at this company for 12 years. Never really liked it, but it was okay. It was a job. It brought me a nice income. It paid my medical insurance. I was vested. So, it was all the blue-collar, 9-to-5 type of things that, a parent expects out of a child. So I did it to make them happy. But then one day I just got tired of it, and I found another job, and that job only lasted for 1 week. My photography career really was a fluke. I started taking photographs at the Mike Douglas show, which is not there anymore. He taped an international show, and he brought movie stars in. And it was kind of a fun thing to do after school. I started with a small camera, went from a 110, went to a 126, and then wound up with a 35 millimeter. The 35 millimeter became my passion. And I enjoyed taking the photographs of famous people getting expressions that nobody else could get, and just looking at the results. And then becoming a professional took years later, and that was really just by accident. I met a young gentleman at something called the National Association of the Black Journalists, an event that I snuck into, which I don't recommend you do, to see Johnny Cochran, who was still alive at the time. So I wanted to take a picture of Johnny Cochran, and I found out that there was dinner included. So I said, why not? Walked in with a gang of people, sat at the table, started taking, met the writer who was doing a story on it. And he said, let me see some of the other pictures you take. He said, I love your pictures. You got to come down and let me introduce you to my editor and let him look at some of your pictures. I didn't at the time. I passed on it. A month later, I run into the same writer, and he's still convincing me that you got to come because I need a photographer to work with me. I said, okay, I'll try.
A lot of photographers are very touchy, and very, I would say, anxious. I was cool, no problem. I love everybody.
Not only does he capture the moment, he captures the essence and what's going on around you.
Most newspaper photographers are college educated. I'm high school educated. I learned in the school of hard knocks.
I met Robert, I believe it was 15 years ago, and it was at a Sister Soldier photo bookstore event. And he was the only white man there taking pictures. But he wasn't just taking pictures, he knew everyone there. But I just observed him. Then later on, I saw him at another event, another all-black event. And he came up to me, and he always approached you, even the first time. My name is Robert Mendelsohn. I'm a photographer, and I take pictures for the Sun or whatever. And I thought it was quite fascinating because I wanted to take pictures. And I met a lot of photographers in my days, but he was the only one that approached me.
Robert Mendelsohn has been able to parlay being different into being his crown jewel. And one of the things that makes him stand out is that he does not look like the audience that he tends to cover. And there have been a lot of photographers that have come and gone through the trenches, but Mendelsohn has been a mainstay.
Robert hasn't just made friends in Philadelphia. He's made them in Hollywood and even the White House.
Bill Clinton had just finished a debate in somewhere like Iowa, and he was very successful. I think he won the debate. This was the first time he was running for president. So he came to the hotel. It was called the Warwick Hotel, and it's always been like the headquarters of the Democrats in Philadelphia and visiting Democrats. So we knew he was coming. We weren't sure the exact time. So as always, we put a lot of time in. Where's Bill Clinton at? I'm thinking, this guy's never going to be president, but I want to get the picture anyhow. So he comes out of his car. All right, how many pictures do I need to take? Well, he said, all right, 4. All right, I can do 4 pictures. Real nice man. He did all pictures with everybody. Very comfortable. He had a sweatshirt on. So I mean, it was nice to see him. And then the day of the election, when I had that picture, I put it in my top pocket. I said, I am going to vote for this man, and I got my picture with him. I hope he wins. Now, Sammy Davis Jr. really was a childhood idol of mine. And I met Sammy Davis when he came walking into the Mike Douglas show, and he arrived late, which most celebrities do. So he got there, and he's like, I cannot do a stop for you for anybody right now, but when I come out of the Mike Douglas show tonight, I will take all the pictures and autographs that anybody wants. And so I saw him 2 hours later. He came out and he says, and I said, Mr. Davis, you gave me your word. That's all I'm good for is my word. If I can't give you my word, what else can I give you?
To see a picture of someone as Sammy Davis Jr. with Robert when he was younger, he was amazing. He got one of the Rat Pack. I mean, I think he gets like toodles or heads up, because that is one of the hardest pictures you probably can ever get. You can't go back and get that picture.
Wow, Natalie Wood. And when I met Natalie Wood, I met her in New York City. It was one of the most exciting times of my life. Her and Robert Wagner came walking out. I looked at Robert Wagner, not interested. There's Natalie Wood. I know, hey, I'm going to push him to the side. She was so nice. She took a picture with me, and she talked to us. She was just so realistic and just so beautiful. I mean, I liked her since I was a kid, when she was a kid, and so to get her picture was really one of the highlights of my movie star photo career, because she never came to Philadelphia. I only saw her in New York one time. A lot of movie stars, like Elizabeth Taylor, I saw maybe a dozen times, but some people I never saw more than once, and Natalie Wood was someone I saw one time. That was exciting.
Despite his celebrity encounters, it's Robert's impact in Philadelphia that leaves a lasting impression.
I travel from South Philadelphia to Southwest Philadelphia, North Philadelphia, usually before 7 o'clock in the daytime. I don't want to be there too many places too late. But during the day, I go to recreation centers, I walk up, someone yells out, here goes Mr. Tribune, and I know I'm in the right place. I know that they're happy to see me, and I'm happy to see them.
Whether it's a gala or it's a community event, he is there, and he's there to actually show the presence of what's going on in the community and disperse that throughout the community with his help, with his photography.
My philosophy when I take pictures is just to try to get the best shot possible, to put the right people in the picture, not to let other people tell me what to do. You know, there's so many people that want to say, well, this person matters, and I say, no, that person matters.
He has really chosen to use his ability as seemingly an outsider to really become the ultimate insider. And he has been able to forge relationships that are based on a level of trust that you really do not find too often.
I believe Robert's relationship with the community is unmatched. There is not a bus that you can get on, or a door that you can open, or a bathroom that you could go into that Robert wouldn't know a person, whether it is the custodian or the waiter or the waitress.
I was walking up the street and I heard 2 people saying to me, there goes that famous photographer. I said, they can't be talking about me. I find it interesting that people who remember my name. And it's nice though. I want my legacy to be a nice guy who did the right thing and never hurt anybody. and took a pretty good picture that most people seem to like.
I would describe Robert as a community activist in photography. He knows his craft. That's important. And I would say he would be one of the top photographers in this city.
He truly makes a difference in the city of Philadelphia with his pictures, with his personality.
Robert is that person that made me become a better photographer, and that's why I love him.
I consider him to be an amazing individual and an outright joy to work with.